Alright guys, today we're going to show you our new 331 cubic inch mod motor, 5.4 liter, it's 4 valve per cylinder, dual overhead cam, and it's got a ton of features. This particular engine is going in a car called Code Red. I want to point out a couple of things that we've done, so here we go. So obviously this is a twin turbocharged 5.4. We've got a water to air intercooler. We've taken 4 intercooler cores, the size of what the original GT500 intercooler core was. So we've got 4 times the intercooling that we normally would get on the normal GT500. It's water to air intercooled. We've made our own completely from scratch billet intake, which has got the octane on demand setup on it. It's got dual injector per cylinder. The throttle linkage is built in. All the sensors are built in. It's got the fuel regulation built in into the intake. We've got our anteater snout that mounts the 2 blow-off valves on it. We've done all the, it's got water-cooled ball bearing turbochargers. We've done all the plumbing and stainless hardline on this. We've made some custom valve covers that have the Shelby logo on it. We've done our NRE turbo headers, which really are special because we've done a 3/4 inch stainless flange that's fully CNC ported from a 4 valve to a round. It also has a 4-to-1 billet collector that interlocks with what I like to call the rocket ship turbo transition that has a billet wastegate mount on it, so there's no welds on any part of that, so there's no cracking that's ever going to happen at the wastegate or on the collector. It's all V-band, so you can go clockwise, counterclockwise with the turbocharger if you need to rotate them. We've got a custom designed one-off billet pan that we worked with Aviat on. It's got 5 scavenges in the pan. We use 2 for turbo drainbacks, 3 for scavenging in the pan. So we've done something totally different, is rather than going like with the factory where you got 1 scavenge, we've got 3 scavenges in the pan and then 1 pressure section. So it's super high performance oil system where the pan was been designed one-off. We've got a custom pump, and then we've designed a very custom harmonic damper that has the cog drive built into the damper. We've changed the ignition tooth count on the Mag pickup from 36 to 60, so we almost doubled the resolution on the ignition timing. And we've also degreed the damper a full 360 on the damper. There's so many things on this engine. We developed over 150 pieces for this engine. Almost 2 years it took us to design this engine. It's just a crazy, crazy undertaking. All the air inlets are V-band, the exhaust is V-band, the wastegates are V-band, the blow-off V-band, no gaskets in the motor there. And it's just been an intense process developing this sucker. It's a hell of a motor. We're at 1,000 horsepower on pump gas right now at 330 inches. That's pretty damn amazing. So here we are making one of the multiple cam changes we're making during the development of this. Also swapping the valve springs right now. Really trying to come up with a good package for this whole assembly. $1,109 horsepower, 1,062 foot-pounds. Look at that. This is insane. 966 foot-pounds at 4,100.
22 pounds, almost 23. Air fuels in the 11th. Stout. Here we are, we've got the 5.4 liter twin turbo engine torn apart here on inspection. Now this is 1,000 dyno pulls later. Give you an idea of how insane this motor is held together. Take a look at these bearing shells. You see those little scratches in the bearing? That's actually the dial bore gauge when we checked it and put it together 1,000 pulls ago. I mean, it's basically brand new after 1,000 pulls at above anywhere from 1,000 to 1,400 horsepower. Totally insane. Check out the skirt wear. There's basically none. No skirt wear. You don't see any combustion getting by to the second ring. I mean, this is one seriously beef combination that we've put together. The factory pistons, I mean, they hold up reasonably well, but nothing like this. Nothing like this. Let's go take a peek at the main bearings. I mean, just awesome. Awesome. The thrusts. Look at the thrust. It's like we didn't even put it inside the motor. It's insane. So it just goes to show what developing a combination will do for you. Let's go take a look at the block here. Again, 1,000 pulls. Look at the wear. Nothing. There's like zero wear. And the crosshatch, I guess you can't tell in the video, but it's perfect. Now, we've run this motor 36 PSI. I mean, the burn, look at the burn on all the chambers. So I just wanted to add that into the video just to show you guys how good and strong this combination. I mean, look at it. I mean, it just burns complete on the top of the piston. It's really nice. Even the ring, if we can get a view of it. Let's see. Wipe some of this. I mean, no flaking. The second ring is seated perfect. You can see where the top ring is seated. It's just gorgeous. So, pretty nice. Piston's not scrubbing on the wall. You know, when you get into a big turbo application, a lot of times this part of the piston starts actually expanding and rubbing against the cylinder wall. Nothing. I want to show you some of the rod journals here. I mean, look at it. All of them are just money. Really, really pleased. Show you some of the trickness. Now this is the stainless header flange that we're using on this. You can see that this is almost an inch thick, and we register the pipe on this counter bore, and then we CNC port the exhaust port into the round, so it has a nice transition. So it's going to stay flat, it's going to perform well, and it's just not going to warp. So that's part of the header flange. Basically, this is the 4-to-1 collector off of it, right here, basically. This transitions into this billet turbo transition, basically, and that's you know, you're looking at that part there, although this gate attachment is a little different. But, you know, an all billet part right here, no welds on it, and that's where you usually break the header, is at the wastegate attachment or at the collector. So it just shows how nice some of these pieces are.
Okay, right now this motor on the dyno has capability of making over 1,500 horsepower. It makes 1,112 horsepower to the tire at a relatively low boost, and that's probably where we'll leave it at for this package. But 1,500 horsepower is not out of the question. And in high gear, when we tested it in the car, we could smell the clutch smoking, even with the twin disc clutch. So we had this clutch specifically made for us by a company called RPS. It's a triple disc carbon on carbon, patented, and it comes with a flywheel. And I just want to show you just how insane this clutch is. This whole package is engineered. It's not just the engine it's not just a bolt-on in the engine. It's an engineered system. We have a twin Ron Davis radiator that we went through all sorts of testing on. We've increased the pulley ratios to increase the water speed in the engine. Comes with a Tranzilla 6-speed, has a quick time scatter shield, has a custom drive shaft, Curry 9-inch, 31 spline axles, all Shelby suspension, upgraded brakes, 10-point cage. This car is business. But let's go back to the clutch and take a look at the insides of this clutch. So it's got a billet hat, and then the discs are carbon on carbon, which Rob has patented the deal. We've got the billet hat off. I want to show you the actual disc assembly in this thing. Now again, this is rated to 1,500 wheel horsepower is what this clutch is rated to. I mean, it's pretty ridiculous. This thing is gonna, if you slick this car up, it's gonna happen. It's not gonna sit there and burn the clutch up. The carbon is replaceable on the flywheel and riveted onto the billet hubs. Pretty trick piece. Again, engineered solely for this project. Now, meaning that the engine goes over 8,000 RPM when you're driving it on the street, we've also put a QuickTime scatter shield just so you don't chop your feet off if the clutch were to explode. The engine's also equipped with a 4-stage dry sump system. It's all plumbed into this billet oil pan, which we'll show you some details on, and this custom harmonic damper that's got the cog built into the damper itself in the back. It also has a trigger wheel cut into it and a serpentine drive for the accessories. And again, we've changed the resolution almost double on the timing accuracy here. This is the pan that was designed for our 5.4 here, and you can see that this is something very trick, is that all the scavenges are covered. So the only thing, we've taken a keyway cutter and cut out the bottom. So all the crankcase windage is protected on the top here. You've got 5 scavenges, and then your windage screen clicks into the bottom portion of the pan, but it's an all solid, cut from a solid billet pan. You know, and it's really a way to make sure you've got oil to the motor. And again, designed for this application. We run a 20-quart system in this car. This is our water junction. This goes underneath the intake manifold and ties all the hot water. The hot water comes into here. This is your dual stage thermostat from the factory that fits into here. Here is your billet plenum lid right here. Okay, so what we've got here is we've got your fuel rail, and then we've got another fuel rail here. It's a twin injected. The engine runs on 91 octane, which is your primary injector, and then under boost, the computer automatically switches the secondary on, which
feeds out of a race gas cell in the car. So you've got your primary tank and then you've got a race gas cell. And that shoots gas through these injectors. And really makes for a slick piece. The beauty of this thing is it's just the ultimate drivability of it. Like, we're in first gear right now. I'm just gonna short shift it into third. Doesn't even lug or anything. I'm gonna short shift it into fifth. Just drives around just unbelievable, you know? We're at fifth gear right now, you know, going 40. So it's really pretty neat. 1,112 horsepower, 976 foot-pounds at the wheels at only 22 pounds of boost. Code Red is alive and well.